All right, today we're tackling a beast of a tool, one that's totally changed the game for anyone working with data, Google BigQuery. We're going to break down exactly what it is, how it works, and maybe most importantly, the secrets behind its absolutely mind-blowing speed. Let's dive in.
Okay, so let's set the scene, right? Your company's killing it, you're growing like crazy, and you're collecting just tons and tons of data. But then, you hit a wall. Your good old trusty database, the one that's always worked, just starts to crawl. Queries that used to take seconds now take minutes or even hours. Getting a simple answer is suddenly a huge pain. Well, that exact problem is why BigQuery was even created.
I'm talking about the data explosion. We're all creating information at a rate that's just hard to even comprehend. And the thing is, the databases that are perfect for running our websites and apps, the day-to-day stuff, they just were never, ever designed to analyze these massive historical data sets. They just start to buckle and crack under the sheer weight of it all.
And this is where the pain really starts, right? Your data grows to billions with a B of rows. And a traditional database, to answer one question, has to read the entire table every single time. It's incredibly slow. Then you get a few more people on your team trying to ask questions at the same time, and the whole system just chokes. And trying to scale it up, that's a whole other nightmare of complex, manual, and really expensive work.
So, into this chaos steps our hero, Google BigQuery. It wasn't just a small improvement. It was designed completely from scratch for this new world of massive data. It's a totally different way of thinking about a data warehouse.
Okay, so what does all that marketing speak actually mean? Well, fully managed and serverless basically mean you never have to think about the computers. Google handles all of that. Cloud Data Warehouse, that just means it's built to store and analyze truly enormous amounts of information. And here's the best part. It uses the same standard SQL you probably already know to query petabytes. We're talking thousands of terabytes of data in seconds. It's wild.
So here's a really simple way to think about it. Databases like MySQL or PostgreSQL, they're like the cashier at a grocery store. They are incredibly fast and efficient at one thing, processing one transaction at a time over and over. BigQuery, that's the store manager in the back office looking at all the sales from the entire year to figure out patterns and see what's really going on. One is for transactions, the other is for analytics.
So how on earth does it do this? How does it query petabytes in seconds? It honestly feels like magic, but it's not. It's just some seriously clever engineering. And it really comes down to three, let's call them superpowers that all work together.
All right, secret weapon number 1, columnar storage. You know how a spreadsheet is organized in rows? Well, traditional databases work just like that. BigQuery completely flips that on its head. It thinks and it stores data in columns. Now, this might not sound like a huge deal, but trust me, it is everything. Let's say you want to find the average sale price for each country. The old way, the row-based way, has to read the entire row for every single sale. The customer's name, the product ID, the timestamp, the shipping address, all this data you don't even care about for this question. It's so wasteful. But BigQuery, it just zips over to the country column and the sale price column and reads only those two. It completely ignores everything else.
And the result is huge. First, because you're reading so much less data, your queries are just ridiculously fast. And second, and this is a big one, you're only paying for the data you actually read. So it's not just faster, it's often way, way cheaper. It's a total win-win.
Okay, superpower number 2 is that BigQuery is completely serverless. Now, serverless is one of those buzzwords that gets thrown around all the time. But what it really means for you is simple. You don't have to manage any of the complicated infrastructure. Google does all the hard work in the background. So think about all the stuff your team doesn't have to do anymore. No more installing servers, no more worrying about indexing or performance tuning, no more late-night patching. You just load your data and write your SQL query. That's it. Your job shifts from being a database administrator to just being someone who finds cool insights in the data.
And here we are, the third and final superpower. This is the one that really brings the thunder. It's called massively parallel processing, or MPP. Now I know that sounds super technical, but the idea behind it is actually really intuitive.
So instead of having one really powerful computer try to solve a huge problem by itself, which would take forever, BigQuery acts like a master architect with a crew of thousands. It takes your big, complex question, breaks it into thousands of tiny, easy jobs, and gives one job to each worker. They all go off and do their little piece at the exact same time, that's the parallel part, and then bring all the results back to be assembled into the final answer. It's all done in seconds.
So we've got these three superpowers: columnar storage, serverless, and this parallel processing thing. But what's the architectural glue holding it all together? Well, it's this one, single, but genius idea: separating the place where you store your data from the engines that process your data.
See, in the old world, storage and compute were basically married. They lived in the same box. If you needed more processing power, you had to buy a bigger box, which also came with more storage that you might not have even needed. It was super inefficient. BigQuery said, nope, let's have them get a divorce. Your data lives in one giant affordable storage system, and the powerful query engines live somewhere else. They're completely separate.
And why is this so amazing? Well, for one, it means your marketing team can run a giant query at the same time the finance team is running their giant query, and neither one slows the other down. It also means your data can grow to a monstrous size and your queries won't get any slower. And maybe the best part for your budget, you pay for storage and you pay for compute separately. You only pay for what you actually use. No waste.
Okay, so enough of the theory. What's it actually like to use BigQuery? What's the workflow for you, the user? It's honestly way simpler than you'd think. It's really just a three-step dance.
Step 1. Get your data in there. You can upload a simple CSV file, connect to cloud storage, stream it directly from your applications, whatever. Step 2. Ask a question using just plain old standard SQL. And Step 3. Get your answers fast. From there, you can plug them into your BI dashboards, your reports, or even use them to build machine learning models.
And I really have to hammer this point home because it's so important. It is just SQL. Look at this query. It's clean. It's simple. It's the exact same language millions of analysts and developers already know. There's no weird proprietary BigQuery QL you have to spend months learning. If you know SQL, you literally already know how to use BigQuery.
So, at this point you might be thinking, wow, this thing is a silver bullet. I should use it for everything. And I'm going to stop you right there. No, absolutely not. BigQuery is an incredibly powerful tool, but it's a specialized one. And knowing when to use it, and maybe more importantly when not to, is absolutely crucial.
You wouldn't use a giant sledgehammer to hang a small picture frame, would you? BigQuery is that sledgehammer. It's built for these massive analytical jobs where scaling is automatic and you pay for what you use. A traditional database, that's your small tack hammer. It's perfect for the quick, small, transactional jobs like processing an order. They are just different tools for different jobs.
So let's make it super clear. The bottom line is this. Use BigQuery when you need to answer big questions, powering your company dashboards, analyzing years of historical trends, prepping huge data sets for machine learning. But please, do not use it to run your website's shopping cart or to do a super fast lookup for a single customer's profile. That's what those transactional databases are for. It's all about using the right tool for the job.
And that really brings us to the heart of it. The technology is incredible, but what's truly exciting is what it unlocks. It puts the power of a data supercomputer into the hands of anyone who can write a simple line of SQL. It lets us ask bigger, bolder, more ambitious questions of our data than ever before. So I'll leave you with this thought. If you had that kind of power at your fingertips, what's the one massive, game-changing question you would finally be able to ask?